Good morning, everyone. For those who joined last time, of course, I'm going to refresh it up for all of you. But for those who were not able to join, I'll just go, point by point. So what we discussed was how we can actually minimize our sugar spikes with nutritious meals, right? So the first very point is our meal sequencing. Most of the times we hear that, eat your salad first, eat this second. What exactly is this? Basically, meal sequencing will help you to actually lower down the sugar spikes, the post-meal sugar spikes. So we focus first on consuming our fibers, protein and fat before the carbs. So that is one thing that we need to make sure that always meal sequence yourself, right? What will happen? It will promote the secretion of GLP-1, which will actually reduce the secretion of glucagon and improve our post-meal sugar spikes. So that is why, we should always focus more on meal sequencing. To repeat, have the bowl of vegetable salad or any fiber-rich salad first. Then include your proteins and fat, which could either be, a chicken, a non-veg source, or a vegetarian protein, be it like a paneer sabzi or be it like a dal or pulse. And then you go ahead with the carb source, right? Like a roti, dal, dosa, or it could also be a rice. So sequence it out. That is the most important part, right? After meal sequencing, we discussed about how exactly our plate should look like. Sometimes we say, yes, I had a proper dal, roti, sabzi, but still, why is it increasing my sugar levels? So how exactly your plate should look like was what we discussed, where there should be more quantity of vegetables that you have, a certain amount of protein, a good amount of protein, and the lesser amount of carbs on the plate. And the carbs that are chosen should be in the form of whole grains rather than simple carbs. Along with that, a choice of drink should always be first as water, right? So choose water rather than having any fizzy aerated drinks along with your meals. Then what we did was how exactly, what kind of carbs, what kind of proteins, fats and oils we all should take. That is one thing. And then we discussed about food on the go. So sometimes what happens is, there are some festivals like we all had Holi, or, sometimes we are traveling or some occasion is there. How to actually, manage your meals at that time. So the first very thing is, of course, meal sequencing, which we are keeping a check upon. The second is check the portion that you're taking, right? The portion size should be same as that what you'll eat at home. So it shouldn't be like, okay, you're out, you can see a lot of food in front of you and you just barge onto it. No. Take a proper check of all the options that are available and then slowly and steadily go for small portions. So portion size and meal sequencing will really help you. Second is what kind of food you should choose, right? So always go with steamed, grilled, baked options rather than going for deep fried, shallow fried options. That was one. Also, when we say have salads, it should not be like, we're taking, like for example, Subway we have, right? So when we take a bowl of salad from there, there are a lot of dressings and sauces that are available. So you should always check that, is that a fat rich, is that a, sugar rich dressing? Or is it actually a water-based dressing? For example, a mayonnaise, right? That should be avoided because it has high fat concentration in it. Rather, on the other hand, you can go with a mustard dressing or a, lemon dressing or a balsamic vinaigrette. That these options are really nice, which will, make your salad more palatable and it will not increase your sugar readings as well. That is one. Also, follow meal sequencing, as I said, and make sure that you are taking the meals in moderation because that is the key. Also, if at all you're checking, let's say that I don't know, I've never tried some dish earlier. Take that dish, have it in a small portion and check how it is impacting your sugar levels. What you can do is always check yourself with a glucometer after you do any new test, So let's say it's a new food that you want to check up with. Once you do that, always do a post-meal sugar test to know what its impact was on your sugar readings. So this was like a gist of what we did previously in the last, Saturday session. So today we will be taking up all the questions that you have related to diet, related to meal sequencing, or any other thing related to, diabetes if you want to ask.
We have one question. So papaya and sweet potato is supposed to be bad for diabetes. I'm pre-diabetic and see that my sugar spikes with both of them. What should be done? Shivani, am I audible?
I think I was muted, so I couldn't. I wasn't able to
I'm so
unmute.
sorry.
No problem. No problem. Yeah. So yes, sir. Of course, papaya and sweet potato are considered good. But again, you know what you can do if you see that your sugar spikes are happening. What you can do is try to opt. Regardless of papaya, go for a raw papaya. That would be a better option for you, and that would not spike your sugar levels much. Still, if sometimes you feel like having papaya, because what happens is each food has a different reaction on everybody's body. For that, we can always check, right? So let's say, maybe if I am a pre-diabetic or I am a diabetic person, for me, it is a possibility that papaya is suiting me, right? And it could be a possibility that it's not suiting your body type. So how can we check? That is through CGM, a continuous glucose monitoring device, which will actually show that exactly is it actually helping you or is it not. So if you have actually seen a certain trend where your sugar readings are actually spiking post having a papaya or a sweet potato, what you can do is one I can give you a tip is take a basin roti and fill it with the sweet potato filling. That way as you are having the sweet potato rest, your sugar spikes will not happen. Why? Because basin will help to lower that sugar reading down. So that is one way, or you can add it into your salads. So if papaya and sweet potato are two of your favorite options, what you do is add it into your salad like a sprout salad or a mixed bean salad, and you can enjoy it that way because it is giving a dose of fiber and reducing the glycemic load on your body, right? And again, you have to check the portion size. It shouldn't be like you're having one full papaya or, 2 to 3 sweet potatoes. No, try to have it in a limited portion size, have a little bit of it, have a small, maybe small katori of it. That will help you exactly to, maintain the sugar level and, also make you feel that, yes, you've already eaten that and you won't crave for it anymore. Or you can also add some nuts and seeds along and try it and check your sugar reading. I hope that answers your question.
A couple more questions on fruits. So one
Right.
thing is watermelon good for diabetics? And like fruits like mango, chiku, banana are asked to be avoided in type 2 diabetes. So can we take these fruits?
Okay. So, of course, watermelon, yes, you can take watermelon. There's no problem. Again, look at the portion size of the watermelon that you're taking, right? 1 katory of watermelon can be taken, and always rotate your fruits. Okay. So do not stick on, let's say, it's a mango season and we want to have it. Always keep on rotating it. So every day, let's say for continuous 10 days, you're having watermelon, of course, we can see spikes happening. But what I suggest is include nuts with your fruits or seeds with your fruits, right? Like you can add pumpkin seeds with watermelon, and a portion of it you can have, and the next day repeat. Don't have the same watermelon. Try to have an apple. So all the fruits, like vitamin C rich fruits that we have, so you can have oranges, you can have kiwis, you can have pineapple in a certain portion, anar, that is pomegranate. Then you can also have kiwi. It's a very good source of vitamin C plus a fruit is very good. Watermelon can be taken with a good portion size. Since mango is coming and we all sometimes want to indulge ourselves, once a week just one slice of mango definitely can be taken, and it is not going to spike your sugar readings. So that, yes, you can have.
So another question is, my fasting sugars is 130 without medication. Is it
Right.
okay or will it increase further?
Okay, so again, sir, this depends that 130, if your fasting is coming, it means it is on the elevated side. What I suggest is, of course, go ahead with an HbA1c test, right? So that you know what exactly your HbA1c is. If at all it comes in, of course, looking at the sugar reading that you have told, it can be a pre-diabetic or a diabetic stage. Now, what we have to see is what exactly your HbA1c looks like and what are your post-meal sugar readings. Looking at that, if we are taking proper control, of course, the sugar readings can go down. But if you're not taking proper control, and if you feel that, okay, it's just a pre-diabetic stage or it's just a little elevated sugar, of course, it can go up. And, that is the reason what I always suggest. If you are at a pre-diabetic stage. I am more concerned. Why? Because on pre-diabetic, what happens is we just feel, acha, abhi hua hai, it's just a thinking that we have, oh, I've just started with it. Maybe I'll be able to, come back. But there is the lack, we feel that, okay, it's just the starting of something and we become a little lenient on it. What happens day by day, that sugar toxic load in the body starts increasing, right? And that is why 4 months, 5 months, 6 months down the lane, when we get our HbA1c test done again, all of us find ourselves into the diabetic stage. So yes, with the fasting of 130, I would suggest definitely start taking those precaution measures and check on your plate, and not only plate, look what your HbA1c looks like. Looking at that, start taking your precaution and all the measures so that this does not increase more, rather it goes down, right? And if you're taking any medications for diabetes, then of course you have to make sure that you are focusing on your meals and your exercise as well.
So we have one questions where they want more details of the continuous glucose monitor and how that works.
Sure. Right. Okay. So what is continuous glucose monitor? So basically what we do is CGM. It's basically this small patch. Okay. What happens is we attach it to your arm for 14 days. So what exactly it does, when I ask you to check your sugar readings, or maybe when you, enroll yourself into a program, what happens is, I know you, maybe, you and I are talking for the first time or the second time, but I would only know your body by what you're telling me. Right? But how exactly your body is working? What are the sugar patterns? Now, let's say, just for example, I'll pick up one name. Let's say Shankar sir is there. Okay. So if I ask Shankar sir that, please wake up at 4 a.m. and check your sugar readings with me, he cannot do that, right? Because he'll be sleeping at that time. And if I ask him to wake up, I'm disturbing his sleep, right? So how do I know what exactly your trends are, what your body trends are, right? So CGM is a continuous glucose monitoring device, which actually is a non-invasive thing, because it is just going to, prick to your skin, and it is going to touch the interstitial cells, not the blood. It is a layer above the blood, which is the interstitial cells. Now, what happens every 15 minutes, it is going to take a reading, right? And through that, we get capture of readings every 15 minutes, which will show us your body trends. So let's say, our fasting is coming absolutely fine. Okay? I say 80 is your fasting and it's coming absolutely fine every day. And still, when you get an HbA1c test done and you see that, oh, I have diabetes, but my fasting is fine. That is where we are going wrong. We need to know that what exactly, is getting the problem. Maybe your sugars are spiking post your workout, or maybe your sugars are spiking post your meals or at the time when you're sleeping, right? So how do we know that when is my sugar spike happening? That is through a continuous glucose monitoring device, a CGM device, which will help you to understand your body pattern. Also, it helps you to understand the meal that you're taking, the medicine and the workout. Is that actually helping your body or not? Right? So that is how, the CGM exactly works. And we can check for each body type if exactly a multigrain roti is helping you or not. Or is rice actually causing a sugar spike, or is it something else that is causing a sugar spike? So that is how a CGM works.
Yeah. So I think Mr. Pradeep has a question. How much time will it take, I think, for food to convert to glucose? I'm assuming that is the question.
Okay. So what happens is the moment any kind of food that we're taking, the moment we start eating it, the digestion process starts. Okay. The moment it goes to our esophagus and then to our stomach, the digestion process starts, and each and every food is converted into glucose. Okay. So about, when you start eating, let's say 2 o'clock you start eating, 2:30 you finished your food. So from 2:30 to the next 2 hours, your food is, getting digested, converted into. That is how, when we do a self-test, that is through a glucometer. So we always tell that, post 90 minutes of last bite. So let's say you finished your food at 2:30, 90 minutes from that is the right time to check your sugar reading, because for every individual, be it a pre-diabetic, diabetic, all the food gets converted into our glucose molecules, right? So that is why give a gap of 90 minutes and then you can check your sugar digestion and all the glucose conversion has taken place.
So yeah, we have a question about what are the tests that we can do to monitor, blood glucose or diabetes.
Okay. Right. So what I suggest, the basic one, and that's the most efficient one, is the HbA1c test that you can get done. Because what is HbA1c exactly? It is going to give you an average of 2 to 3 months of sugar readings that you've got. So that ways you know what your sugar reading looks like. And if it is, above 5.7, it is considered as a diabetic stage. And if it is below, then, 5.7 and diabetic stage is there. So, of course, the HbA1c test can be done so that we know that, yes, what exactly our sugar. Once we know that what category we fall into, a type 2 or a pre-diabetic stage, what you can do is keep a glucose monitor with yourself. That is like, like a phone we have, like an accessory. So a glucometer should be next to you always. I suggest on different timings of the day, check your sugar readings, and every day you should do one prick at least, so that you know where exactly your sugar readings are coming. Because if I say that my fasting is correct, and every day I'm just checking my fasting, I'll never get to know that why my sugars are increasing. But if I check my sugar readings at various times of the day, let's say one day I'm checking after my breakfast or after my lunch or after my dinner, and one day I'm doing a random check. This way you have, the entire readings of your day. Or maybe in a week we have about 7 to 8 readings where we know, yes, this is the time exactly when my sugar is going on the higher side. So that is how, you can check your sugar readings. But if you want to really know that, yes, are you in the pre-diabetic stage, in the diabetic stage, or if you are, not diabetic, do an HbA1c test, definitely.
Okay, so we have a question. This person takes banana or sweet potato before his gym, or before he does any workout, and the sugar spikes to 170.
Okay.
Right? And post the workout, it comes back to 110 to 120. So his question is it okay, to keep having the sweet potato or the bananas?
Okay, right. So of course, if it is saying as 170, that is a very, very high sugar spike. So if at all, sometimes what happens, we see a high sugar spike and then we see a low sugar spike. What happens is, just imagine of peaks coming like this. So it's going up, it's going down, and then again it's going up, it's going down. These sharp spikes are actually not good for your pancreas. It is exhausting it, right? Rather, a small curve should come. That is what always I suggest is, you should look for. So a normal reading is where a small curves are coming in your body. Now, if 170 is that, after having your pre-workout meal, which is a banana or a sweet potato, I would suggest you to avoid that. Rather, go ahead with, changing your pre-workout meal and see what suits your body, because this is actually increasing your sugar readings. Rather than having a sweet potato or a banana, you can try for going for a peanut butter, that is unsweetened peanut butter with an apple. So that will not, spike your sugar level much, and you can also check for yourself once. So make sure the peanut butter is unsweetened, because there are a lot of peanut butter that we get. So get an unsweetened peanut butter with an apple. That is a very good pre-workout that you can take.